DIY urbanism or do-it-yourself urbanism is a phenomena that's been described as informal, and described in material terms as in informal settlements and people going about sort of making and finding their own solutions for making a living in African cities. And for the Nordic Africa Institute, which follows up trends on the African continent, both not only for research but also for sort of policy implications, there's been a big concern, I think not just on the continent itself but broader, about what the implications will be for Africa's fast-growing urbanization. But part of what we're doing with this particular workshop is unpacking this idea that people are doing things themselves. So they're doing it in practice, but what are the political implications of this? Are we saying that as Africa's urbanization grows, that people should somehow be left to do it? What about the taxes that they contribute to? How is that revenue then spent? What is the state's responsibility? And the state's role is not innocent. So people some of the discussions that we've been having in the workshop is there's on one hand a critique of sort of state control and formalization, saying that it's not responding to what people actually need and want. But at the same time, there's also critique that they should have a role and should have some kind of responsibility, but that it should be in conversation. But what we have at present is capitalism on steroids. There's a retreat, there's a sort of hyper individuation of activity and investment to the point that the state feels that they do not have to. And as a result of that, private citizens and individuals feel that they don't need to then contribute, because what is it that they get out of it if they don't have the necessary infrastructure? What is it that people are doing themselves and how? And as another said, what are the implications of these actions, both practically but also politically? What does it mean for sort of social community life when people are doing all of this themselves? What are the practical implications? There's, an example was given of, you have a road that is self-built, but it's not safe. And you have a pregnant woman driven along a very, very bumpy ride. It becomes really quite dangerous. So on one hand, people are finding solutions for themselves. But what are the practical implications for that?